Jeffrey is clueless. He has been speaking to Jessica for ages, but he still hasn't made his move. Come on, Jeffrey, the signs are right there. She likes you. Oh no, it's too late. Jeffrey, she has a boyfriend now. He cries in his room for days and days, weeks and weeks, months and months. If only he could have seen the signs. Adonis. Adonis has seen what it's like when a woman is infatuated with a man. After all, he was raised by parents in a beautiful, loving marriage, and he saw how his mother acted around his father. And so going out into the world, he knows with almost perfect accuracy when a woman likes him. Congratulations, Adonis. Anastasia is now yours, a worthy queen for the tribe. Listen to this, there's a 3-step process that will probably eliminate all of the problems you're having with your dating life. Just 3 steps. Step 1, improve yourself, become more attractive, more successful, be better with girls and stuff. Step 2, be aware of the hidden signs of when a girl likes you, which we're going to cover in this video. And then step 3, know how and when to make a move, which I've covered in previous videos. We can have a card pop up on screen if you want to watch that. When I was 21 years old and I was in my 2nd year of university, there was a female friend that I had who was in the same classes as me, so we both studied psychology. And I had been friends with her, friends, you see each other in class, maybe you see each other on a night out, and if the opportunity arose, I would. I wouldn't ever say that there was sexual tension because I wasn't really aware of it. I was almost too scared to, even pursue anything, even though I didn't really have feelings for her, but I would have smashed, but it wasn't never very clear. But then things changed on her birthday and she invited me to come celebrate in a club with her and her friends. And I'm out there, we're drinking, dancing and stuff, and then just out of nowhere, the eye contact starts and just suddenly something clicked and I was like, oh yeah, of course she likes me. I had missed all these previous signs in class, she's texting me and she wants to hang out or something, and I'm just treating her like a friend without really realizing she was sexually interested in me, and I would have fucked, bro. And so on that night we hook up. It was one of the hottest experiences, I'm not gonna lie, because we studied in the same class, and so what would happen is we'd be sat in our lecture just paying attention to the fucking lecturer, the professor or something, sending each other a text, she sat maybe 10 meters that way in this big lecture hall, what are you doing after this? Nothing. What about you? Come back to mine. We've got a half an hour break, 1 hour break between the lecture and the next lecture. We go back to my place, which was nearby, start having sex, and then come back. It was a very nice experience to have with this girl. And it only really happened because eventually I picked up the hidden signs that she actually liked me and she was sexually interested in me. So right now there might be a girl who's actually into you, but your brain hasn't even comprehended the situation. So there's potentially something that you could get out of this. There's 5 hidden signs that a girl likes you, and number 1, and my favorite, is that she makes strong eye contact. Now, once you get more and more experience with girls, you kind of realize that if she holds your eye contact, chances are at least you've got your opportunity to shoot your shot and go speak to her. But when you're first starting off and you're not so confident or clued up with girls, just a girl kind of looking at you as she talks to you doesn't feel oh yeah, that's her invitation saying yeah, she finds you hot or anything. But genuinely, if a girl holds your eye contact with really good strong eye contact, it gives you the open door to at least escalate and ask things further. Now the opposite of this is very true. If a girl has very fleeting eye contact, she doesn't really look at you, imagine she walks in and she doesn't even look at you at all, then it's well, she's probably not interested. But when a girl, for example, walks into the room and literally holds your eye contact with a big smile and says hello, it's at the very least there's something going on there. The second sign that she might be interested in you, but this is a really weird one that we've got to take serious, and a lot of guys fuck this one up actually. The second sign is that she sends you enthusiastic replies through text messaging or Snapchat or whatever. The reason why this is a hidden sign that she likes you is because it shows the level of interest that she's replying to you, and obviously if she wasn't replying to you at all, then that would be very clear that she's not into you. But we need to be careful here because a lot of girls will just reply to all the messages they get, and it's very easy to be kind of a young guy kind of clueless with girls, to have some hot girl that you're interested in just send you a reply and you're yes, well she oh god, she texts me, but if you showed it to your older brother who was better with girls, he'd be why are you getting so excited, she sent you a 1-word message. Bro, there was a girl, one of the first girls that I ever matched with on Tinder when I was literally 16 17 years old, one of the first girls that I ever even fully had a text conversation with. And I remember this girl just fully strung me along, but I didn't really know what was happening because she would reply to my messages with 1 or 2-word answers, and I carried as a lot of guys do, carried the conversation. So this was a while ago, but I literally remembered there was this one girl that I was obsessed with, and I would literally be texting her stuff oh hey, what have you been up to, and she'd just reply with TV, comma, You? Like that, this was our conversation like every day. And I was like so happy. Oh my God, she replied. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Like just because she replies does not mean that she's into you. Honestly, this is kind of like fucked to say, but like a lot of girls literally just like having notifications on their phone. Honestly, like a lot of people are just fucked up in the head. And so a lot of girls and guys too get their sense of validation from just the amount of notifications that they have on their phone. And you'll know this is the case where if you kind of subtly see her go onto Snapchat, she'll have like 10 unopened snaps there. I've not used Snapchat in a while, and like I don't date any women who've got social media. But I remember when I was back in that sort of like normal people scene of having social media. Like this is offensive to say, but like the girls I knew instantly who weren't shit were the ones who had Snapchat and Instagram and everything, and they just had unopened message after unopened message, like 10 messages that they've not opened for like 2 days. And what it essentially means is that they're just stringing along some chump who's like waiting for his reply. So obviously you don't want to be in that situation, but you also don't want to be in the situation when a girl's texting you enthusiastically and you think that that's like the sign for you, like, you know, like hopefully, oh yeah, she likes me. It's very interesting. You know, I've just told you about like she's got like 10 unopened Snapchats. There was a girl like I was hooking up with through the lockdown. Yeah, like I disobeyed the lockdown. Who gives a fuck, bro? I was fucking this girl in the woods like multiple times a week in 2021. And you know, she was like the girl who I saw like all these unopened Snapchats on her phone and everything. I just thought, yeah, that's like some degen shit. Like who's she texting this way? And I remember that this same girl had a guy who was almost like, this is kind of bad to say, but almost like the beta male version of me. Like she showed me pictures, like me and her were just hooking up, right? So I was literally just like the Chad in this situation. But he looked like a verse version of me, but he just wasn't like cool about it. He was getting so over excited about the enthusiastic messages. So they were having like, you know, long text conversations. She'd put me on her Snapchat story, like us doing silly shit. We're out at nighttime or something. And she's like pulled up my shirt. Like I was very lean. I had like rock solid abs. So she'd put onto her Snapchat story, like pulling up my hoodie or something and showing my abs. Like, whoa, like whatever. And this same guy would reply, like when me and her were out, like literally just about to have sex in like the woods or the car or something. Oh, who's that? Why are you going out with this guy? Like, oh, like, because they had been texting for a while. They had, I believe, like a 42-day Snapchat streak. Like when you send someone a message every single day on Snapchat, it's like you get like an emoji or some shit. So this hidden sign is, you know, a girl texts you back enthusiastically, but we have to be very careful because it can mean that she's into you, but it can also just mean that she's just fucking playing you along just because she likes like just having some validation and like, you know, the extra notification dopamine from you. So you've got to figure out right here, right now, which one are you? Are you the guy who she's texting enthusiastically because she actually really likes you and she's like down to meet? Or are you the guy who she's enthusiastically texting you just because she likes having notifications? Let's move on and talk about the third hidden sign that a girl likes you. And this is one that a lot of guys don't actually pick up on. And it's that she invades your personal space and she makes almost unnecessary physical contact. So in other words, like she gets physically just close to you. Maybe she like touches your arm and she talk, you know, you make her laugh and she goes like, a lot of guys are quite jumpy, I'm not gonna lie. Like if a girl or even like a guy touches them, you know, like most guys haven't actually been touched. And I don't say that in like, oh, you said touch, like, oh, that's funny, a pedophile or some shit. Like I'm actually saying like most guys don't get enough physical touch in their lives. So they're just like fucking weirdly like stiff and just like weirdly like AFK in their own bodies. And so a lot of guys, when a girl is touching them and stuff, that's one of the best signs you're gonna have, honestly. I remember when I used to go to clubs, you know, I'd be in the smoking area talking to girls that I wanted to hook up with there and then in that night. And I would know for certain which girl I was eventually gonna go and sleep with that same night. Because when we'd be talking, she'd be like way more touching me than other girls. So some girls will talk to you like this, like fucking masculine ass, like, yeah, whoa, what are you studying uni? Yeah, like, you know, some girls will talk to you like that, and other girls will be proper cute and literally like touching you, laughing, like you'll make them laugh. They'll like put their hand like this a little bit. Like that's one of the best signs you can have. But a lot of guys don't pick up on it because they're just so fucking like weird in their bodies, bro. If a girl is touching you in a good, positive way, and she just finds a reason to get close to you, to touch you, to like put her hand like this, or she does this when she, all this stuff, like that's such a good sign that she's actually more into you than you realize. Because the opposite of this is also very true. If a woman is not into you at all, she will try her absolute best to stay a little bit further away from you and like not touch you at all. And you might be wondering, oh wait, what about her sort of, you know, personal individual differences? What if, oh, you know, she told me that she just doesn't like getting hugged. Bro, I'm telling you right now, some girl who tells you like, oh, I don't like being hugged is like, she doesn't like being hugged by you, bro. Oh, I don't like being touched by people. She doesn't like being touched by you. Honestly, like, I'm sorry to say that, bro, but it's the truth. It's like, yeah, you know, people can be very different. Some people can like being hugged. Some people might not like it. But generally, if she like doesn't like being physical around you at all, and you make her jump when you accidentally touched her or something, she's probably not that interested. And even if she was, let's say she's just got this like weird, you know, jumpy physical thing where like she can't be physical with someone. Why would you be interested in a girl like that anyway, man? Like, I think being physical with the girl that you're eventually going to date is so fucking important. And if there is a girl who's like, oh yeah, well, I don't like being touched by people, It's like, come on, man. If you respect yourself, you probably get out of that situation. The fourth sign that a girl likes you is the kind of conversation you'll have. And it's that she'll share some intimate, emotional parts about her. So she'll open up and she'll tell you things about like her dreams, her failures. She'll tell you about her family. She'll start to open up a little bit. And I remember the first night I ever met my girl. We were in Thailand, so we were both like traveling around Thailand separately. We ended up meeting up and she came over to my villa on like literally the last night before me and my friend Sam were gonna fly out of Thailand. So, you know, it was like a little leaving party of like 5-6 people. She came over and I remember that our first conversation did so well just because, you know, we started opening up a little bit and we spoke about like self-improvement and everything. And, you know, she was so interested in what I was saying. And then I remember like she kind of hinted at some like mental health issue a little bit, like not like of now, but like of, you know, something she'd experienced previously when she was a little bit younger, of like having bad mental health. And that's something I'm very interested in. Like I love speaking about mental health and, you know, it means a lot to me. So when I asked her another question and she was like, oh no, like I don't really like, you know, like I don't really open up about that stuff. But then the next day when I saw her again and she literally opened up and fully told me like deep stuff, it's like, bro, come on. I knew right there, right then that like, okay, she's got to be very interested in me if she's just opened up about something serious. And so you can maybe keep that story in mind. If there's a girl who opens up to you about something that she probably wouldn't, you know, broadcast to other people, that can be a sign that she likes you and she trusts you and she sees something like kind of secure with you. Now, on the other hand, there can also be girls who are just quite open and, you know, they're just loud with this sort of intimate moments. And, you know, there's the kind of people who will openly post on Instagram about their family problems or something. So that's a person who's like very, very open. So maybe them opening up to you is not as special as it could be. But it's just something to keep in mind. If she does get into these deep conversations with you, chances are she likes you more than just like an NPC that she's just met. The fifth hidden sign that a girl likes you is that she will talk about you to her friends, her female friends. And so this is going to be the case where like a girl likes you. Imagine she's in your class in school or in your workplace. She likes you, you know, she's eyeing you up a little bit, but you don't even realize. She'll speak about you to her friends. Like, oh, did you see that guy? Like, oh, wow, he's so... But you won't really know about this because her friends probably won't run over and like straight away tell you, unless if you get a little bit closer to a friend. So I remember this happening. I remember in university, there was like a group of like Pakistani, like loud girls who came in late and everything, but they were like pretty attractive. I didn't know this at the time, but like it turned out they were almost like a little bit obsessed with me. And I didn't really know this, but I literally, like the story that this one girl told me, I was like, holy fuck, these girls were obsessed with me for a long time. And I didn't even realize. So hopefully you can like learn from my mistakes here, because I could have capitalized on this way better. But eventually, like I end up messaging one of the girls on Instagram. She comes over and like, you know, things get a little bit heated and we're just like talking like afterwards. She tells me about her friends and everything. And she's like, oh, like, yeah, like, you know, one of my friends was telling me like that one time that you like dropped a pen next to her. What? Like, oh yeah, like, you know, like essentially she told me a story that was of significance to her and her friends, that like I dropped a pen next to them and I like just picked it back up and they were like, oh my god, wow, like you dropped a pen next to us. Oh, like this is one that I missed myself. So maybe it's something somehow you can find that the girl that you're interested in has been talking about you to her female friends. So I don't know how you do this. Maybe you'll go speak to her female friends that become more friendly with them and like, oh, you know, she's been talking about me. But you can tell me. That probably won't work because like the girls will like conserve their secrets. But if, for example, inhibitions are lowered, if, for example, you're like 18, 21, you're going out drinking and you see that girl that you're interested in, you see her friends and you end up, you know, just vibing with them, they will probably encourage you to do this. So this is probably the more realistic scenario. If you get into more of like a sexual, more mature environment, like going out to a club or a party, and you see, for example, there's your girl in her group of friends, and you end up just vibing with her friends, you know, maybe drinking or something, dancing and stuff, then eventually her friends might be like, oh yeah, like, have you spoke to Sarah today? Like, that's the sign, bro. That's literally them saying like, go speak to her. Stop being a dumbass. Go speak to her right now, bro. Come on. Now, you've heard these hidden signs that a girl might be into you, but there could be a chance that you're sat here and you have this almost limiting belief where you think that a girl who's into you is just being friendly. Because chances are you've grown up without much female attraction, and the way that we've been conditioned and, you know, like brainwashed and, you know, like influenced to navigate our relationships with women has been made so like depolarized and demasculine. You know, it's like we're kind of pushed to like not be upfront with a girl that we're into, aren't we? We're kind of pushed to be more like passive these days and to not pursue. It's almost seen as a bad thing to go up and speak to the girl. It's like, oh wow, like that's like socially weird or anything. So chances are you might even have like this fucked up belief in your mind with a girl who is into you. You just think she's just being friendly just because you've been raised in a way to believe that like men and women are supposed to be friends and like we can do everything each other can. Or maybe an even sadder note is that you just don't even believe that women could be attracted to you. Maybe you've kept in mind this belief that you are just simply not attractive to girls. And so you literally have convinced yourself that any of these signs don't mean anything. And maybe you've been watching this video thinking, oh, well, that sign doesn't mean it. Oh, this one doesn't. No, this one doesn't. Women aren't attracted to me. Maybe you've just convinced yourself that you're ugly and girls aren't attracted to you. And I did the exact same thing, bro. I fully had convinced myself when I was growing up that I was ugly, that, you know, if I was brown skinned, I'm Pakistani, so I thought girls weren't attracted to like Pakistani. Oh, there's no way. Like every girl thinks I'm a terrorist. These were dead ass real thoughts that I had about myself. I literally thought I was like so ugly. When I look back now, like when I was, you know, 15, 16, 17, 18, like I wasn't very, very hot, but I wasn't ugly as well. I wasn't like, you know, a 2 out of 10 or some bullshit. Like I wasn't ugly, but I had this false belief that I was. And so I acted like it. And so when there literally was, you know, girls like I could have dated when I was in high school or a little bit older. There was girls who were into me, who I found out later on they were into me, but I just simply didn't even see the signs because I had convinced myself that no girls could be into me because I was ugly and, you know, I was brown skinned and girls don't like brown guys. And this honestly gets so much deeper than just, you know, this like surface level video. We know this video is going to perform well. That's why I've titled it like the 5 hidden signs. Like it's a very like clickbait topic, you know, this video. It goes so much deeper because so many guys don't even realize girls could be into them. Like you've been totally convinced that you're just one of those guys who's never gonna get laid, who's never gonna get girls and stuff. I think this goes so much more serious when you start to think like this is probably because you haven't had like a very masculine present father. Because if you really had like a masculine present father and, you know, he was very loving towards his wife, your mother, then you would have like seen how it is to navigate relationships with women. But we don't really see that these days. Some parts of the world are so messed up with like, you don't see fathers in the home, you just see like your single mother struggling to raise you. And then in school, you don't really see this. You're not promoted to be like quite masculine and forward with your intentions like every man has before us. And so I think young men are very clueless when it comes to dating. And I think this is such an important topic that we talk about because I wish when I was a little bit younger, I had like an older, like, you know, role model, like a big brother figure that like actually taught me these things from his experience. I think it's so valuable for you to keep these kind of hidden signs in mind and to get even better at like picking up on these like little clues that girls are into you, because it compounds, like it all snowballs and gains momentum. The better you get at navigating your relationships with women, then the better women you start to attract after that. And so I think this is such a valuable skill that we should be like adding into our self-improvement journey. Like, you know, we go into the gym to improve our fitness, we meditate to improve our mental health. I think a pillar of our self-improvement should be dating, love, and relationships, and the skill of being better around women. A lot of guys disagree with me and they think you should just forget about women and you should, like, you know, women are all horrible, women are all trash, like focus on yourself, king. I never related to that, bro, because inside of me I have this authentic desire for love, for relationships, for sex, for dating, to like partner up with a woman. I've always had that desire. And those times when I listen to these guys of these Sigma male grind set type of guys, it's like, oh, you know, just focus on yourself, king, like, oh, women aren't worth it. So like I was just less happy, less productive, weirdly like obsessed over girls, feeling kind of shit because I didn't have women in my life and everything. I'm way happier and way more fulfilled and just feel like free now that I've gave myself permission to like level up my skill with women. And it's still something that I'm learning right now. Click and watch this video right now. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.